The book of Exodus. Book of Exodus. The book of Exodus, the 33rd chapter. Chapter 33. Exodus, the 33rd chapter. Beginning at verse 12 of that 33rd chapter. It reads, And Moses said unto the Lord, See, thou said unto me, Bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wouldst send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight. Now therefore I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. And he said, My presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, If thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For what end shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and our people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. And he said, Moses, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. And he said, I beseech thee, this is Moses talking, show me thy glory. And what I want to talk with you on this day, on this homecoming day, when what you have is not enough. When what you have is not enough. Just bear with me and I get there. Now, church, imagine that someone sending you an anonymous letter. And they tell you that they'll give you anything that you desire. Anything that your heart desires. But then they tell you also there's one thing about it. I'm going to stay anonymous. You will never see my face. Now, the question is, would that be enough for you? Maybe so, but I don't think it would remain that way for long. Now, you may get any and everything your heart desires, and you'll enjoy it for a while. But sooner or later, your desire will be to see the face of the one who is so gracious. So imagine God making a similar offer to us. He'll give you anything you desire. Perfect love, the eternal peace. You'll never be afraid. You'll never be alone. You'll never be confused, and no confusion will enter your mind. There'll be no anxiety will enter your heart. You'll never lack for anything. Not only that, but there'll be no sin, no guilt, no rule, no expectation, no failure. You'll never hurt and you'll never die. But there's one catch to it all. That you'll never see my face. Church, would that be enough? Would you want that offer? Well, I want to put it on record today that I wouldn't want it. Not just that, but let the record show that with me it's not enough. And can I tell you why I wouldn't want it and why it's not enough? It's because who wants heaven without God? Matter of fact, heaven is not heaven without God. For sure, a painless and deathless eternity is nice. And I'm looking forward to that. A world of splendor with the streets of gold and the pearly gates and all the other things that come with it. When you look at it, it would stagger you. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that the perks are attractive. It's just that they are not enough. See, it's not that I'm greedy. That's what it sounds like, but it's not that I'm greedy. For he's already done more than anybody else could ever do for me. It's just that we're his people, we're his children, and we should be restless until we rest in him. And only when we see him will we be satisfied. And that's how we find Moses in our text. Moses had as much of God as any man in the Bible. God speaks to him in a bush. God guided him with a pillar of fire by day, a pillar of cloud by day, and a fire by night. God amazed him with the plagues of Egypt. And when God grew angry with the Israelites and withdrew from them, he stayed close to Moses. Even in Exodus 33:11. He talked to Moses as a man talked to his friend. Yeah, church, God knew Moses like no other man. But yet to Moses, that wasn't enough. Moses yearned to see more. So Moses said, show me your glory. He said, I know that you said that you know me by name and that I found glory, that I found grace in you, but show me. Who keep telling me and commanding me to do this and do that. Show me. Who's telling me this? Moses longed to see God. A fiery pillar and manna fresh every day was good. But that wasn't sufficient for Moses. Moses wanted to see God himself, and don't we all? See, that's why we long for heaven? Isn't that why we live this life that we live? Isn't that why that we accepted God as our Savior? Because of the fact that he promised us a new home. Isn't that why we're just waiting on God? Oh, we talk about a place where there's no tears, there's no night, the place where the wicked will cease from trouble, and the weary will be at rest, a place where there's no night and it's always day, a place where we never say goodbye. And all folks say it's always howdy howdy. And never goodbye. But these are just benefits of heaven. The reality of heaven is seeing God. Church, heaven is God's heart. And our heart will only be at peace when we see him. That's why David writes in Psalm 17 and 15. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I will awake with thy righteousness. And that's one thing we're not satisfied. Let me show you. When we were little, young, and there at home, we'd always say, if I were a teenager. But then we become teenagers. Then it's if I was grown. And once we get grown, then we then talk about if I was married. And once we get married, then if I had some kids. Then as a parent, if these kids were grown, then we want to know when they're going to leave home. And when they leave home, then we want to know if they'll come to visit. Then when we retire, then we'll start talking about if I was young. See, we're not satisfied. I heard the Apostle Paul say in Philippians 4 and 11, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am to learn to be content. But church contentment is a difficult virtue. And the reason it's difficult is because when it comes to God, there's nothing on earth that can satisfy our deepest longing. The psalmist said, as a deer panteth for water, so we, the Lord. It only says that the earth groaneth for his appearance. And see, that's our deepest longing is to see God, and we won't be satisfied. You might, but I won't be satisfied until I see him. Not because, again, because I'm greedy, but because I'm hungry for something not found on this earth. And only God can satisfy. So, Brother Berger, Philip was right when he said, the Lord show us the Father, and it suffices us. In other words, Philip was saying, Lord, show us the Father, and that's all we need. But therein lies. That's where the problem comes in. Because if you read it, it says, for when Moses asked God, show me the glory. God said to Moses, thou can't see my face. For there should be no man to see me and live. And what does Moses do in order to see God? Before you get to thinking too much, the answer is nothing. Moses didn't do anything, but God did it. Tell somebody God did it. put you in the cleft of the rock. And I'll cover you with my hand while I pass by. And once I pass by, then I'll take away my hand. And you can see my hind claws, but my face shall not be seen. So God showed himself to Moses up on Mount Sinai. And all that Moses did was ask. And that's what I come to tell you today, that all we have to do is ask. For it's only in asking that we will receive. And it's only in seeking do we find. What I want to tell you is God is getting ready for that great day. And he's doing all he can to equip us for that eternal moment. Haven't he given us a rocking Jesus? Haven't he given us a cleft of his grace? Haven't he covered us with his bleeding and pierced hands? And unlike Moses, we won't have to worry about whether we see his face. But now he tells us to look upon him and live. And one day, the songwriter penned the words, face to face shall I behold him from beyond the sky. Face to face in all his glory, I shall see him by and by. Only faintly, now I see him with the dark veil in between. But one blessed day is coming when his glory shall be seen. So wherever you are, whoever you are, never lose your hope. Never lose your joy. Never lose your faith. Never lose your praise. Never waver on your journey. You might get knocked down, but you ain't knocked out. He's on his way to get us. And oh, what a homecoming. Oh, what a reunion. Oh, the gifts of heaven. But only a 5-year-old. No, it's not the person. But it's not the presence, but it's the person that made the reunion. That's why I say I want to see him face to face. I can't keep going, and I can't stop now. Because one day I want to see him in all his glory. I want to see him in all his details. I want to see him in all his love. I want to see him in all his lights. That's when I see the Father. That's when I feel love. That's when it feels love. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. When I see Jesus, that'll feel love. And when I see him, I won't worry about seeing mom and daddy. Won't worry about seeing my loved one going home. But the first place I want to behold, I want to behold God. I want to behold him. And when I see him as he is, high and lifted up. High and lifted up. Glory! With what you have.